involves a past life as a python. I have to say we have very few cases reported of past lives as animals, even though the cases occur in plenty of places that believe in transmigration of souls across species, but still we hear about very few of them. This case that I'm going to tell you about is one from Thailand that one of Ian's colleagues, Francis Story, studied. And it involves a boy who said that he had been a deer in his past life. He had been killed by a hunter, and then he had come back as a python. And just before this boy was conceived, his father had eaten snake meat that had been served by an acquaintance who had killed a python after a big struggle. So then when the boy was 3 years old, that acquaintance came to a party next door to where the family lived. Well, when the boy saw that man, he became infuriated and tried to attack him. And he explained that that man had killed him when he was a snake in his past life and gave a lot of details. He said he talked about a particular cave and how there had been this big fight between a snake and two dogs, and then this big confrontation with the dog's owner who eventually killed the snake. And the man responded that all those details were correct. The boy also said that after he was killed, his spirit saw his future father and thought that he was kinder than the other men who had eaten the snake meat, so he decided to follow him home to be born into his family. And again, soon after the boy was conceived. So you may be wondering what kind of birthmark a past life as a snake would produce. Well, it produced this. The boy had a condition called ichthyosis, where he had scaly skin really all over, but it was worse on his legs. And then this is him as an adult. It's much better, but you can see that he still had some scales on his legs. Now, I show this case mainly because it's such a prominent, I don't even know what to call that, not necessarily birthmark, birth condition. But I also show it to make a point, which is I personally find it impossible to believe that a snake would encode memories where it could describe a particular cave and talk about a big fight with dogs and the owner of the dogs and all that. So what this case suggests to me is that there was a larger consciousness that remembered those details. So it was a larger consciousness that had a life with a snake consciousness, and then existed between lives, and then had a human life with a human consciousness. So it was the larger consciousness that continued on after the snake's death, not just the snake consciousness itself. And this recalls to mind the words of the French philosopher who said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience, we are spiritual beings having a human experience." To me, these cases suggest that there is a larger consciousness, or a spiritual being, to use the term from the quote, that is involved in our existence.